everyone, this is Claire from InspireHQ. At InspireHQ we're all about building great workplaces, and part of how we do this is by blogging every week, by sharing our tips, thoughts and ideas. We've been doing this for over 5 years now. We don't know about you, but as we're navigating our way through our second lockdown and increased restrictions, we're looking for more opportunities to speak and see people. So we're mixing our blogs up a bit and throwing in some vlogs. Unfortunately, they're not vampire blogs like my son tried to tell me this morning, but video blogs. We hope you enjoy. I wanted to tell you about 2 conversations I've had recently with 2 different business owners and how their mindset could be impacting the way their business is navigating through the pandemic. I want to preface this conversation with saying I absolutely understand that running a business or leading a team is tough at the best of times. Leading through a health and economic crisis has made that exponentially harder. I share these observations with the intent to encourage reflection, not to judge. As I said, I was recently speaking with 2 business owners working in the same industry in similar businesses about how they've coped through the pandemic and the first shutdown. I was really interested to hear from the inside how they found it. From the outside, they appeared to be quite successful. They'd both continued to trade and they'd both adapted their service offerings. I was really surprised by the contrast in their responses. The first business owner, to be honest, looked and sounded exhausted. His opening statements to me was, "I've had to carry the business through this all on my own, despite having a reasonable sized staff." He talked about the benefits of JobKeeper and how it has kept his business afloat, but he talked about the downside too, that he now had a number of staff members that would prefer to sit at home at JobKeeper than come into work. He talked about his struggles with getting his staff to come in at different shifts or different hours or stay late or maybe have a shorter lunch break. And he also talked about the struggles he had with getting his staff to do duties outside what they would normally do, despite the fact that their business had changed quite considerably and it was a unique situation. He talked about the fact that he felt that he needed to be there every minute of every day because his staff didn't seem to have the same sense of urgency or loyalty to the business or an appreciation that they needed every dollar they could possibly make at the moment. He felt if he wasn't there, they would slack off and he wouldn't get the outcomes or the revenue that he needed. His closing statement to me was managing staff is absolutely the hardest part of his job, and that he was really surprised that his staff weren't more grateful to even have a job given how many have lost theirs during this period. The second business owner I spoke to also looked a little on the tired side, as I suspect we all do at this time. However, he was talking about that his exhaustion was mixed with exhilaration. He kept talking about how proud he was of his team and the fact that they'd pulled together during this time. He was really honest with me in saying that they didn't make a lot of profit during the first shutdown, but the reason that they kept going because they thought it was important for the staff well-being. He talked about how over the last 5 years they've worked really hard to encourage any employees who haven't fit their culture or shared their vision, and that he felt like going into this pandemic and shutdown, as frightening as it was, they already had quite a solid team, but he feels like they're even stronger now because of this experience. In contrast to the other conversation, he couldn't say enough about how his staff had gone above and beyond during this period. Coming in at short notice, coming in early, finishing late, happy to do any duty, pitching in wherever needed, really coming together as a team and working as a solid unit to be able to continue to deliver their customers and trade throughout the period. His closing comments to me was this experience has solidified for him how connected and loyal his staff are to his business, and that he absolutely could not have got through this period without them. In the leadership coaching that we do with our leaders, we often talk to them about mindset, and we talk about how are you showing up for your staff and the impact that this has on trust and engagement. We know this isn't the only element in getting the best out of your staff, but it is a fundamental element. So I ask you, how are you showing up for your staff?